It's 3 p.m. and I'm having a hard time focusing. I have lots to do. Yeah, I've lost the motivation and focus to get it all done. Sadly, this is a fairly regular occurrence, and I realize that I'm not alone either. Whether it is morning, afternoon, or evening, we all go through times during the day when maintaining focus is difficult. So, our top 10 list this week shares 10 different ideas on what you can do when you notice that your focus is starting to slip. Hopefully, this little break that you're taking to watch this video will put you back on the right track so that you can be focused and get more work done today. So our first tip comes from Shelly Rea from Columbia, South Carolina. Shelly uses a diffuser in her office, which she says keeps her focused and alert. So when I asked her what smells she uses, she shared that she likes orange, spearmint, and peppermint for those times of the day that she needs a little boost to regain her focus. I love the smell of lemon, and I find that that wakes me up too. Andrea Kislick from New York City, New York advises us that if we take our lunch break later in the day, it makes our afternoon shorter and easier for us to maintain our focus. Now, while Warren and I typically break for lunch somewhere between noon and 1 o'clock, I know that afternoons are better for me if we break a little bit later. I tend to have a little bit more energy in the morning. And so if the clock says it's time for lunch, but I'm on a roll, it's best if I just don't break. When I do have a shorter afternoon, I get more done. And potentially part of that is realizing that I have a short window to get a lot done. So I'm motivated by that pressure too. Number 3 comes from Noura Agiani from Brussels in Belgium. Noura says to put mindfulness music on, and she uses YouTube, which keeps her focused. Whether you use YouTube, your smart speaker, or an app with mindfulness music in it, it will be a great help to boosting your focus when needed. Whitney Kelso from Virginia Beach, Virginia brings us number 4. Some days, not every day, you might have one of those days where it allows you to take a little break during the day. If you can, get outside and get some fresh air and go for a walk. Whitney says that after her break, used as needed and as available, she comes back into the office refreshed and keeps going and stays focused. Now, many of us learned as children that the best way to eat the veggies that we hated the most at dinner was to eat them first and get them gone. Paula Palmer, who lives in Who in the UK, shares that she is better focused when she starts her day with the least attractive task. It is easier to maintain your focus when you aren't doing a task that you dislike. So get those unpopular tasks out of the way early. Number 6 is from Maria Gasnius from Toronto, Ontario. Maria says that every day, first thing she does is write down her top priorities for the day, and then she puts those tasks in her calendar because what gets put in your calendar gets done. And Maria applies a deadline to each task. She says that if her mind starts to wander, all she needs to do is look over at her calendar, which reminds her that she can daydream later. Tina Varghese is back again from Calgary, Alberta, and Tina says that after she completes a task, she gets up to stretch and drinks a glass of water. Water assists with focus, as does movement. So simple, yet it works. Carolyn Scher from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan brings us number 8. Carolyn advises us to recognize our high energy or high productive times and to use those times for the demanding or full focus tasks that we need to have. Use our low energy times, and for many of us it's in the afternoon, for those mindless or less energy required tasks such as filing, returning calls, errands, all that kind of stuff. Carolyn says for her that her power time is about 2 to 7 p.m. So she does her calls and meetings in the morning to protect her afternoon time. I'm completely the opposite. I will do my calls and my meetings in the afternoon because my power time is in the morning. Whatever works, right? Michelle Morford from Maryville, Washington gives us a simple trick, yet reminds us that we need to close down our email or the tabs on our browser unless you need them for the task that you're working on so that you won't be distracted. When we're having trouble focusing, anything that can distract us will get our attention. Close down anything that will distract you. And number 10 is for me. I find that I am easily distracted by virtually anything else when I'm struggling to focus. So I will take things off my desk or I will move to a clean location. The same way we close our emails and our browser, I find that I can maintain more focus if there isn't other things around to remind me what still needs to get done. So if I'm writing an article or editing an article, I will occasionally bring my laptop into the kitchen just to get the task done in a quieter, which is also good for focus space, as well as a space that doesn't have a lot of reminders of all the other things that I need to do. Focus is hard. These days can be long sometimes, and it is natural for our minds to wander. It is up to us to train our minds to refocus. So sometimes by just paying attention or doing things a little bit differently, you can maintain your focus a little bit longer. And of course, you'll get better results. Now stop watching YouTube and get back to work.